So first, let's review the different features you can navigate to from Portal Home. So when you first enter the platform, you're going to notice this announcement board. So your Kintone admins can post any big updates or reporting that you and your whole team need to know. So if you were to scroll down below announcements, you might see this notifications section. So this is where you can see your all notifications, and you can also choose to see the notifications that were sent to you specifically. So in this notification section, toggle between read and unread to see your read and unread notifications. In the drop-down, select To Me to view only notifications where you, your group, or your department are mentioned in an at mention in a post. You can select Flag to view notifications you have flagged. And then you can go back and select All to view all notifications in the portal and not just those that include you. So if you don't see this, then it may not be set for your domain. No worries though, you can access your notifications by clicking this bell icon at the top. So if you go ahead and click the 3 horizontal lines, a menu bar will open. So this is accessible from apps and spaces as well. So you can navigate back to Portal Home, view your spaces, apps, and then also people. So this feature is most useful when you're in a space or an app and you need to quickly navigate somewhere else. So right next to this, you're going to see the Home button. So this is going to navigate you back to Portal Home. Right next to this, you have the notifications bell. So this is where you can access all your notifications. The little red number represents the amount of notifications that you need to review. And you can toggle between your read and unread. And you can also flag important notifications so you can revisit them later. So then you have this star icon. So this will display your bookmarks. To add a page to your bookmarks, simply navigate to the page, click this star icon, click this add button, you'll name it, and then you're going to save. So this will allow you to save custom views and any search results. So right above this, you're going to see a logo. So this is either a Kintone or your own company's logo if your admin has chosen to customize the solution by adding in your company logo. So if you click this logo, it might take you to another page. So admins can hyperlink logos to a site that you and your team may access frequently. So mine is set to open up our Kintone Help Center. So if we go over to the right, first we have this gear wheel. So end users have access to the following. You have your personal settings. So this allows you to set your email preferences and time zone. Then you have app management. So this is the one-stop shop to view the apps and current usage of apps in your portal. So for end users, you will only have access to see the apps in which you have permission to manage. Then we have import files. So this shows you files you have imported, and exported files shows you files that you have exported. So next we have the little question mark. So if you click Kintone Help, you will then be directed to our Kintone Help Center. So then further to the right, we have our search bar to search for spaces, threads, apps, people, and any keywords. And then above the search bar, if you click this little down arrow next to your name, you can choose to log out or you can choose to visit your account settings. So in account settings, you can update your profile details, including changing your photo, changing your login credentials, setting up mobile access, and to also view your previous logins. So let's navigate back to Portal Home. If you click on your name, you're going to be taken to your profile. So now we'll start to chat about the People feature. So People is a feature used to directly contact or share ideas with one another. From your own profile, you can post to your wall to update your colleagues on what's happening with you, either personal or work-related. You can click Profile to access your account settings once again. You can start to write out a post here. Click the camera icon to change your cover photo. And the gear wheel will also take you to your account settings. So to view someone else's profile, you're going to type their name into the search bar. And you'd click on their name and then you'd navigate to their profile. If you click this little chat icon, you will be taken to private messages with them. So at their profile, here you can post on their wall, and you can view their contact details. If you click Profile, you're going to be taken to more details about the user. And if we go back to their profile, you can also choose to follow the user. So if you follow someone, you're going to be notified when they post anything in your all notifications. So with people, you can interact with the other users of the platform. If you notice you don't have this feature to be able to contact all users and you're unable to send messages, this just means your Kintone administrator has restricted those features for your subdomain. Now let's navigate back to Portal Home. So some of you may see this Assigned to Me box. So this just means you have apps with process management set up that require your attention. So the little red number lets you know how many items within the app you need to take action on. So if you don't see this Assigned to Me box, it just means there is nothing for you to review at this time. So right below that, we have Spaces. So a space is a workspace where you can add apps and collaborate with team members by viewing common information and discussion threads. So here's where you can access your spaces. If you click here, you can filter out your spaces based on these options. If you have permission to do so, you can also create new spaces here by clicking plus. And if you don't see this section at all, it means your Kintone admin has disabled the space feature for your subdomain. So let's jump into the sales space to review some of these space features. So if a space is comprised of threads and apps, it's almost like a portal off of a portal. So you can make a space private or public. It has its own announcement board. So this is helpful because you can be more specific with your announcements in a space. For this sales space, you may want to include current sales numbers. And if it were a marketing space, you can display upcoming projects or events. So with spaces, you can have multiple threads. So a thread allows you to collaborate and communicate with your team on different topics. So the apps listed here within the space, they belong to the space where they were created in. Let's navigate back to that main space page. So the list of people down here, this is going to show you who has access to the particular space. And then lastly, down at the bottom, you have related apps and spaces. So these apps or spaces do not belong to this particular space, but by adding them here, it allows you to easily navigate to them from within this space. So let's navigate back to Portal Home and review the last section we have, which is apps. So an app is a feature for creating business apps to help you manage your data and business processes. So here's where you'll access your apps. If you click here, then you can choose to see all apps you have access or just the apps you have pinned to your favorites. If you have permission to do so, you can also click this plus icon to create a new app. So let's hop into the Customers app. So the features we will be reviewing here are for those who do not have permission to manage the app. If you see more features, this means you have extra permissions. So when you first enter the app, you're going to see this record list view. So this is simply a list of records. Within this record list, you can see specific fields for each record. Think of it like a record is a row and the fields are the columns. So you'll click plus to add a new record. And then the ellipses right here lets you choose the amount of records to view on one page. Over to the left, first we're going to review what a view is. So a view is a filtered and sorted list of records. In apps, different views live here in this dropdown. So here we have all, illegal, New York, holiday card list, and in all fields view. So to see what the filtering criteria is for a certain view, you just navigate to the view and you'd click the filter icon. So let's take a look at this all view. So we'll look at this filter icon. As you can see in the all view, there's no criteria for filtering, and therefore it is displaying a list of all my records in here. So if we do go back to the New York view and you click filter, then you can see that we have filtered out this view by the state is equal to New York. So as an end user, you can filter out records, but you will not have the ability to save them. Only app admins can create and customize the saved views. So as an end user, if you create a view or even a graph that you'd like to save for your own use, you can always just bookmark it and it'll live right here. So right next to the views, we have graphs. So we'll click the down arrow to see the different graphs you can view in an app. So you'll click the bar chart icon to view how a graph is created. You can edit the graph and make new ones. However, if you are not an app admin, you also will not be able to save the changes for the new graph. All right, so let's go back to the record list view. So if you click the pin at the top, that's how you add something to your favorites list. If you have permission to edit or delete, you can do so from this screen as well. So if you had permission to delete, a little X icon would show to the right of the pencil where you can delete. And if you click the pencil icon, it's going to allow you to edit the fields in line right here. So if we go all the way back to the left, if there's a number here, that's how many comments there are on that particular record. And then if you click the blue page icon, you're going to open up the record and be able to view all of its information. So we are now viewing the form of the record. So you will see the record is comprised of all of the form fields. So these fields in the layout, they were decided by your app admin when they created the app. So click the over arrow to move between records. We'll click the plus icon to add a new record, the pencil icon to edit the record. This next icon will allow you to duplicate the record. And then the ellipses at the end allows you to print this individual record. And then if you had permission to delete, you'd also be able to do that from here. So right below there, you can comment on the record and mention a colleague. This allows you to discuss the contents of the record directly on the specific record. And then if you click this little time icon, you can see the history of the record. So you can know any changes that were made, and you can also restore it to any previous version. So this concludes our overview of navigating through Kintone as an end user.